do you think? At the Reeds, I was very touched by it. I think they're extraordinary stories, because there are three interweaving stories that are really wonderful within it. I usually feel really uncomfortable seeing something, don't you?
Yes, I do. I normally hate it, and
I forgot completely.
All you do is look at yourself and think, "Oh God,
I could have done differently."
You know, I should have had something done years ago. And, but when I watched this, I didn't feel that at all. I mean, I just think it was beautifully, the wonderful script, beautifully directed.
Yeah, Philippa Lothrope is an extraordinary
terrific acting from everybody. I thought. I mean, really truthful acting.
But that's always encouraged as well by when a director absolutely recognises what's honest and what's not, and doesn't go for the performance, as it were. Because I mean, you have a wonderful, Heidi Thompson has written a wonderful play. It's fantastic, and there are great words there. But they can either be performed or they can be part of something that happens. And Philippa's got a great sense of the absolute reality of it. But then there are extraordinary heightened moments. I mean, for me, the emotional moment of the Emmanuel and the bath and the stripping down, which is just a purely visual one, I thought is just amazing and just very, very moving.
And the feet, the hands in snow, and that young girl giving birth. I mean, it's so truthfully done. It's not acted; it's truthful. You know.
I mean, I know it's a Christmas episode, but it felt it was a lot more about faith.
Yes, it's not an obvious Christmas story, is it?
No.
I mean, it's about kindness and love, and things that we all want and need, but seem to be a little less of these days. People don't seem to have the time for each other these days as they did then. There were great hardships then, but they were much more helpful to each other and loving towards.
You see the result of cruelty in the piece,
yes,
which is very much a part of our society, and it still remains. I mean, we're hearing stories about the awful things that go on in children's homes and have gone on. You can't expect things not. It is part of the human condition, but fortunately there is, as long as we keep our eyes open and we take care of that, there is extraordinary kindness, and it's just allowing that to be and allowing people to do a good job.
It's very timely. I think it will really make people think, and maybe not about the faith of it, but the faith of humanity. Yeah.
But I've never been stopped so much ever before. Constantly stopped in the streets and in shops, and people say, "Oh, how are we going to? This finishes on Sunday. What are we going to do?" And I was stunned at the reaction. Absolutely stunned.
How did you think it would do, the series?
Well, I didn't think many people. I thought, well, men would watch it for a start.
And then I've got
women friends who don't like the blood, or we don't talk about all that stuff. I thought, I don't know who's going to watch this. It's lovely, but I don't know who's going to watch it.
Have men come up to you?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Coming through customs, a big burly customs guy said, "I'm missing Call the Midwife tonight, but fortunately it's being recorded." I mean, all sorts of people. I mean, across the sexes, across the classes.
So what? Yeah. I went shopping, and the girl behind the counter said to me, "Oh, I know you're an actress. What are you in?" I said, "Well, at the moment I'm in something called The Midwife." She was, "Oh," she said, "I never miss it." She said, "And my father," she said, "I can't get him away from it." And he must have been in his late 50s or 60s. She was half Egyptian Algerian, and he was an Egyptian man. And that really, I thought, my God, that is extraordinary.
Do you think this walks the line between sort of being very heart-wrenching and heartwarming? How easy was it to achieve that?
Well, it's the balance of it is in
the truthfulness of it,
and the director's hands, and I think that balance was held very, very well, because it is. It does walk that line. I mean, it is extraordinarily sad.
Did you both
but it's.
cry? Sorry.
Oh yes, no, I did.
Were in that room?
I cried.
Yeah. I think the difference
I
is
in childbirth and had to pull myself back. Really, when one was actually doing it,
yes,
and playing that scene, I got so emotional.
Yeah.
And I thought, but this isn't right for Sister Julienne, because one had to actually have a totally pragmatic sense. So I had to actually give myself a really good talking to again. Yes. Don't get yourself involved in that. It is extraordinary. And there's this little new baby there in your hands and everything. And going, oh.
Yeah.
But no, because this has got to be totally, just
Is the
wonderful.
difference that it comes from, a lot of these stories are true, aren't they? So
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
so that,
Yes,
does
yes.
that make
Yeah.
a difference?
Oh, I think it makes a big difference.
And I think that the answer to that question really is, if you think about, not to be too cruel, but if Americans actors were playing this, it would be completely different, because it would be sentimentalized, and that's what I thought was so prevalent in this screening today, was that everybody was acting truthfully, and they weren't sentimentalizing it or get over emotional about it. It was just absolute truth, and that's the line.
There are some amazing American, there's some extraordinary truth for American.
Oh yes, yes, of course there are. Of course there are. That's a
I've just seen
generalisation.
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yeah. Eh?
I've just seen Beasts of the Southern Wild. Oh my God, it's an extraordinary piece. But that's it's just interesting.
No, but do you know
terms of
what I mean?
reality,
I'm
though.
talking about a generalisation for American television. I'm not talking about the exceptions.
They've, interesting enough, in our second series, have accepted some of the really. There's one episode that deals with things that I thought the Americans would find quite hard to deal with, and they've absolutely accepted it and taken it, and said no cuts, no problems. And it deals with women's issues and things that I would have thought that they would find quite hard in the States. Well, it's what Heidi was talking about, yeah. Yeah, that and birth control and the right for women to do what they want, and that's very much a part of it. I mean, I suppose the wonderful thing about the setup of Jenny, the nuns, Dot coming from her world, and the midwives all being so different, is that the arguments are there to see it from different points of view and different perspectives. And the nuns are actually extraordinarily open-minded, these Anglican nuns, and they deal with just the realities of it, but they're sustained absolutely by their faith. And then you have behind that, though, the issues of the women, particularly in that period of time with very little money, but no birth control. There was no birth control available then at all in the 50s, and those extraordinary changes that have happened.
And the new national health was just beginning, and social security and all that. I mean, if you were down and out then, my God, you were in dire straits.
So as an audience, do we come away from that abortion episode with a clear view in our mind what the nuns think of it? Does it make a statement?
I think that's the point. What is clever about it is that, and I think where Heidi is good, is she presents all of the arguments, all the different sides. So you can look at it. No, it's not a campaigning piece, but there is an absolute, which is that it is very important for women to have control of their lives and to do what they can do and have the choices. It doesn't purport that the religious side or the different all of those aspects of what is correct and what is right. It is actually just giving people
And she deals with
choices
sexual
to-
abuse too,
yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah, there's that.